last 10 weeks are even more serious. For the fiscal 2010-2011 budget, in view of these reduced revenues, let's take the easy way of looking at this. As many of you know, OBM produced guidance asking agencies to forecast their budgets at 95% and 90% of an adjusted House Bill 119 level of appropriation. So let's assume that we adopt all those 90% level agency budgets. And that means every agency budget: education, K-12, regions, rehab and corrections, Department of Youth Services. Even at that 90% level, our fiscal year 2010-2011 budget will result in projected deficits of $2 billion in fiscal year 10 and $2.7 billion in fiscal year 11. That's a total of $4.7 billion across the biennium. This is a challenge we must meet that is 5 times larger than our rainy day fund.
That's assuming a 10% cut in the agencies.
That's correct.
If we have flat funding, just flat funding, continuation funding, what would the budget be projected to be?
If we were to have flat funding, the projected deficit would be more than $7 billion across. So the question is, how did we get here? I want to talk a little bit about 2 parts of what's brought us here, and then we can take questions when I get to the end of explaining this. The 2 workhorses of state revenues, as you folks know, are the personal income tax and the sales tax. We have watched a continued erosion in workers' wages that has been far beyond our expectations. In July of this year, our baseline, which we were using to plan our budget, showed that wage and salary income in 2009-2010 would crater at about 3% growth year over year. That was July. In October, that number had declined to 2%. By November, that prediction of year-over-year growth in wage and salary income had declined to about 0.75%, below 1%.
We're getting you on the screen there.
Oh, outstanding, thank you. So what I've been tracing for you in words is the July baseline here in green is where we started. In orange is where we were in October. By November, we are at the pink level, which is just under 1%. But the most distressing of it all is the lowest line on this chart, which is the pessimistic scenario from Global Insight, which shows that Ohio wage and salary income will dip below 0. It will actually be negative. Economists call this negative growth. I think that's an oxymoron. It means most Ohioans will bring home less in wage and salary income in their lunch boxes in the year 2009 and 2010 than they did in previous years. This has never happened in Ohio history. So how did this happen? Let's go to the next slide. And is this different from other historical recessions? So in the next slide, what you can see is in 1982, and I think Allison is handing this out to you. I am on slide 9 of that presentation if you can't see it on the screen. You can see that the recession in 1982-83, Ohio's wage and salary income dipped to just above 0. And then it went way up in the subsequent year. In the 1990 recession, it dipped to just below 4%. And in the 2000 recession, it also dipped, but remained positive. It is only in this forecast recession that we will be facing in 2010 that we expect to see wage and salary income in Ohio dip below zero.